welcome everybody to another broadcast of Jerusalem's Gate. I pray everybody's doing well. We're still in a remote location helping out a family member that had surgery. I thank you if you prayed for that family member. I know certainly we have. We circled the wagons and started praying. It was a pretty serious surgery, but there's some things I want to cover, and regarding the end days and the prophecy of the end days. And I think we all Christians can agree, and even some non-Christians, that we're living in the end days, the latter days. Now, I want to go over a few scriptures with you. First, we're going to cover what we covered before, but I wanted to revisit it. Daniel 11:44. It says, "But tidings out of the east and out of the north shall trouble him. Therefore he should go forth with great fury to destroy and utterly to make away many." Now, what Daniel was saying is this person will get news, but news from the east and in the north. Now, all directions are given from Jerusalem and Israel. If you go north, straight north, if you draw a line straight north, you would hit Turkey, and if you go further north, you would hit Russia. Now, east, where it says out of the east, that is China. So he's going to get information out of what I believe to be China and Turkey and Russia, and it shall trouble him. Therefore he shall go forth with great fury. In other words, he's going to be very mad, and he's going to destroy and kill many people, utterly to make away many people. Now, who is this person? Nobody knows yet. I don't even think the person they're talking about knows either that he's that person. Then there's some videos I wanted to cover with you. The first one is the Haley, the UN representative, and is talking about the denuclearization of North Korea. Now, is North Korea going to denuclearize? We know that Trump and Kim are meeting at a summit, and that's good. That's good. We need them to talk. Now, my personal opinion, what do I think that North Korea is going to denuclearize 100% and open the door for verification of denuclearization? I personally believe that he will not denuclearize 100% or let his doors be open for verification. I think he's buying more time. I think the sanctions are getting to him, and I think he's trying to find a way to get these sanctions lowered. Because his country is being hurt, being affected really bad with these sanctions, and that's the purpose of the sanctions, of course. But and then also I wanted to go over another thing with you, and it's regarding Russia, Iran, and Turkey. Now, if I can draw your attention to another some additional verses. Ezekiel 38. Let's read it. "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, G-O-G, in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech." Now, Meshech, some believe that Meshech is an ancient term for Moscow. Now, and it says, "And Tubal." That's an ancient name for Turkey, Tubal, "and prophesy against him." Now, if you go down to verse 5, it lists the countries that's going to come against Israel. It's Russia. Russia's going to come against them, and Turkey, and Iran. Now, why do I say Iran? In verse 5, it says Persia. Persia is the ancient term for Iran. So I just wanted to give you those scriptures to kind of think about. Let's go to the first video, and there's a series of videos after this that supports what I say. Let's watch this. This is the first video is coming out of NHK, and here we go. Let me go ahead and play it.
This hour with the latest developments related to the upcoming historic U.S.-North Korea summit. The U.S. ambassador to the United Nations says President Donald Trump will seek the complete denuclearization of North Korea when he meets with the country's leader Kim Jong-un before the end of May.
We don't want an irresponsible actor to have any sort of nuclear weapons. He either does it or he doesn't. If he doesn't, we'll deal with that. If he does, then, maybe we can work on something. But we're going into this very cautiously.
Speaking at Duke University, Haley said North Korea is suffocating. She says strengthened international sanctions led by the Trump administration have succeeded in bringing the country to the table. She stressed those sanctions won't be eased just because the North is willing to talk.
Well, I have two other videos that support the scriptures that we were just going over, and they'll start playing right now.
At a UN Security Council meeting on Thursday night, there were smiles and a handshake between the Russian and British ambassadors, but no sign of lowered tensions. Russia has warned Britain that it was playing with fire by blaming it for poisoning a former spy and his daughter last month. We've told our British colleagues that you're playing with fire and you'll be sorry, said Vasily Nebenzia, the Russian ambassador to the UN. Novichok is not copyrighted by Russia, he said, in spite of the obviously Russian name. It's a name invented in the West for a line of toxic substances which are nothing new for experts and scientists, and developed in many countries, including the US and Britain. But Britain defended its actions in the aftermath of the incident in the town of Salisbury, which has included expelling Russian diplomats and encouraging more than a dozen Western countries to do the same.
We cannot ignore what has happened in Salisbury. We cannot ignore Russia turning a blind eye to the use of chemical weapons in Syria and in Salisbury. And we cannot ignore the way that Russia seeks to undermine the international institutions which have kept us safe since the end of the Second World War.
Police cordons are still in place in Salisbury a month after the attack. Former Russian spy Sergei Skripal remains critically ill but stable in hospital, while his daughter Yulia is recovering.
The presidents of Russia, Turkey and Iran met in the Turkish capital Ankara on Wednesday for the second time in 6 months. Their stated aim is to speed up the peace process for Syria, but analysts say it's also to extend their influence in the war-torn country. All three have given their backing to peace talks in the Kazakh capital Astana, which they're putting forward as a parallel process to UN-sponsored talks in Geneva. For the Syrian people, peace is a matter of urgency. This video is said to be the aftermath of an airstrike on Tuesday by pro-government forces in Ariha in Idlib province. The town is sheltering displaced people taken there to get away from eastern Ghouta, one of the last pockets of rebel resistance that has been under siege by the Syrian army for months.
It didn't take long for China to hit back. Beijing has announced countermeasures to Washington's plan to slap duties on Chinese imports. The country's Vice Finance Minister Zhu Guangyao said on Wednesday that China would place 25% trade tariffs on 106 American goods, including soybeans, automobiles, and aircraft. China is the largest foreign market for U.S. soybeans and aircraft and second largest for automobiles. The move comes after the U.S. published a list of some 1,300 Chinese products it plans to slap with a 25% tariff that would be applied to about $50 billion worth of goods. Chinese authorities say they want to avoid a trade war that will be harmful for both countries as well as the world economy. They said they will time the implementation of tariffs with the U.S. accordingly. For United News International in Tokyo, I'm Jung-Sil Kim.